Pride and Wrath are two of the latest melee weapons added to Warframe. They're the signature weapons of Sirius and Orion, different takes on the same Heavy Scythe. But are they actually any good? I'm TheKengineer, let's solve a practical problem. These two Heavy Scythes both require completion of Jade Shadow's constellations, which itself requires the New War and Jade Shadows. You then have to actually farm the weapons from the missions unlocked post-quest. For each melee, you need to not only obtain the blueprint for it, but also the matching handle and both blade parts blueprints. That's a total of 4 blueprints per melee across the 2 missions. Either you can get them as drops, each with a 1 in 7 rate from the right mission, or purchased from the vendor at the mission hub. I'm trying to avoid calling out specific names here for those of you who clicked this video before doing the quest. Go, do it! Each of the blueprints can also be bought for talents, a currency earned from the Railjack missions. The costs are 45 talents for parts blueprints, 90 for the main blueprint. These talents earned at around 21 per mission on normal mode and around 27 per mission on steel path mode. So even if you get absurdly unlucky on the drops, which will make farming Sirius and Orion faster, you can have the set of blueprints in around 22 normal runs, 17 steel path at the absolute longest. By all probability, it won't take that long. But then you need to build them. Pride and Wrath take identical resources to build, mostly consuming a handful of easily acquired Railjack and Starchart material. However, standout from this is the demand for Crimson from the Plains of Eidolon and Thist from the Orb Thalys. This adds on the requirement to rank 3 with the Ostrons and rank 4 with the Solaris, unless you buy the gems from other players. Finally, build everything, taking 12 hours for the components and 12 hours for the melee itself. Multiple stages of crafting for 36 hours at the fastest, as you need 2 of each blade in total. Like many signature weapons in the last few years, that's a lot of work. So for all the build steps, what do you get? Pride and Wrath, both Heavy Scythes, compete with not only the Corufell, but also the Hespar and Thalys. The Thalys is an uncommon weapon, and arguably just as obtainable, while the Corufell is a very heavy melee focused weapon. So let's go with the Hespar for comparison. Compared to the Hespar, both Pride and Wrath have lower base damage and lower critical damage, but higher attack speed. Individually, Pride takes a strong focus on status, going from 28% to 35% status chance, but dropping from 24% to 15% critical chance in the process. This makes status effects about 25% more likely, 50% more common when accounting for the attack speed buff, but losing around 33% of the damage per second, assuming Blood Rush and Galvanized Steel. That buff and nerf cancels out for the same expected status damage, both modded and unmodded. Even at base, the slash ratio is about the same, with the Hespar at 48% slash to Pride's 50%. Any force status effects, like on neutral attacks, lean in the Hespar's favour, while any non-damaging status effects like viral lean in Pride's favour. Wrath then is the complete opposite. It trades off status and even more raw damage to get more critical chance. The base damage is now down by 21%, and status nearly halved from Hespar's 28% to just 15%. In exchange, Wrath has a critical chance of 30%, up from 24%, and slash percentage 80%, up from 48%. Combined with the attack speed, Wrath with the same modding has around 6% DPS increase over Hespar, due to losing so much in critical damage and base damage. The status output drops by 36%, although without elemental modding, the Wrath actually applies 7% more slash procs due to its high slash weighting. Just like comparing Hespar to Pride then, Wrath over Hespar leads to a higher slash output, but a worse output for all other status. At the lower tiers of play, much of all this doesn't matter, as you can tear through everything anyway if well modded. It's in the higher tiers that it matters, and higher tiers of gameplay usually is best supported with a hybrid playstyle of crits and status. Now, both Pride and Wrath have one more edge to their blades. On doing a slam attack, Pride gains plus 15% modded status chance for each enemy hit, while Wrath gets the same for critical chance. Both cap at 150%, both additive with other mods, both lasting 10 seconds. If you do another slam in the 10-second window, the entire buff will refresh, but the buff value will only change if you hit more enemies. In a sense, you snapshot your best slam indefinitely until you fail the 10-second timer. While jumping for slams can take away from many typical playstyles, the forward blocking combo of Gale Force Dawn, the only Heavy Scythe stance, includes a slam as part of the attack. In high enemy density, or with grouped enemies, this will guarantee most if not max bonus with ease, so long as you switch to that combo every few seconds. As the unique trait is a modded bonus, and considering that both Blood Rush and Weeping Wounds are staples of any high combo build, this will at best lead to a 1/5 increase in crit or status output in exchange for the slam busy work. It matters, but not enough that you'll notice a real difference when it runs out. It's more noticeable on heavy slam builds where combo isn't capped out. With all said and done, conditionally both Pride and Wrath can pull just a little bit ahead of Hespar. Pride has more room to succeed because of how easy it is getting critical chance from external sources like Wrath will Advance. But in the main, these weapons will eke out about the same results as each other. If you found the Hespar to be a merely serviceable weapon, you'll get the same experience with these two Heavy Scythes as well. As basic signature weapons, they give basic signature results, uncomfortably close to the definition of mastery fodder, considering the amount of effort needed to acquire them. But still, these are usable MR14 weapons for a certain definition of usable. Taking a light attack approach, Pride can be modded like this. We have a hybrid setup reaching 97.5% critical chance and 5.6 times critical damage in combination with Tenacious Bond. This is as well served by melee duplicate as any setup is going to be, sitting so close to 100% critical chance. Swap out Fever Strike for the element best suited for the faction you're facing, or swap out both Fever Strike and Elementalist for the combination type most suited instead. Due to the very low follow through stat of just 40%, you'll likely find the higher bonus and more precise attacks of the neutral combo superior to using the forward combo. If you're relying on non-damaging status however, forward combo will spread maximum viral, corrosive or magnetic procs when modded that way. For a heavy attack approach, we can lean into the slam perk with a heavy slam build. We're not hard focusing at critical hits here, as the build won't reach more than a 5 times combo, but it'll still benefit enough from galvanized steel to be worth including. Modded with gas, direct hits can produce lingering gas clouds to take out follow-up enemies that survive the slam itself. As there's not an arcane which really helps a slam setup too well, Melee Kareen gives you a way to freeze and directly boost your damage against key targets. This surprisingly works well enough to even take out acolytes quickly, though usually not in one shot. With Wrath, we can lean into its substantial slash percentage for a pure slash build. What it loses in elemental multipliers, it gains in being able to mod for even stronger critical damage to go alongside its much higher critical chance. With tennokai heavy attacks, it also benefits from the force slash on those by feeding fully into that damage. Optionally here, you can swap out Organ Shatter for a faction mod to make those slash procs even more powerful, but you may find the trade-off not worth the hassle of swapping per faction and being weaker against acolytes. As there's not many arcanes that can support this, throw in Kareen for on-demand freezes and buffs as needed. Wrath lacks the status chance to carry a gas slam build, and simple slam damage isn't the most amazing in general. With tennokai being a thing, Wrath has no use for a purpose-built heavy attack approach. Stick to Discipline's Merit or another tennokai and it'll be just fine. Of course, all of this is waffle. Grab Shocking Touch, grab Melee Influence, and dominate every mission with an enemy spawn count worth talking about. You won't be taking a basic signature weapon to much if any assassinates or similar boss heavy missions, nor is a Heavy Scythe with slam perks really the weapon of choice for a stealth finisher mission. The best way to amplify the results of these two is to follow the meta. With Wrath will Advance making crit building less important, Pride pulls ahead. But then with Valence Formation making status building less important, Wrath pulls ahead. And if you combine the two, well, you could probably get Steel Path ready results from a stick you found on the ground. Pride and Wrath are the signature weapons of Sirius and Orion, with an outright absence of signature bonus. They are higher MR, higher requirements, and higher cost weapons compared to many melees, let alone weapons in general, and once you've finished mastering them, you might just decide to stick with the weapons you already had. That's what I'm doing. I do hope you found this video helpful. If you've watched through this far, make sure to tune into my Twitch livestream on Sunday 28th, the last Sunday of June, for a chance to win a STYANAX Prime Access, the entire pack, platinum and all. The link for that is below the video. And as always, mod your Wrath, clear Steel Path, and fight well, Tenno.